You now are listening to the audio podcast of Prisoners of Hope, the antidote to what ails your heart. I'm your host, Dr. Deborah Whitson. So come on in, pull up a chair, and open up your mind as you get ready to receive the download that hope will bring. Hey, 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 good day. It's Dr. D. And today we're going to talk about chaos. Oh my gosh. You know, it seems that everything in our world is going topsy turvy. It's going upside down. We're being tossed to and fro. Men want to be women. Women want to be men. Isn't that true? Children want to be adults, right? Right? And adults want to act like children. Have you ever heard of cosplay? It's adults all dressed up acting like children. Older people, they want to appear young. They spend untold money on creams and potions and surgeries and procedures to appear young. And young people, they want to be more mature. You ever use a fake ID? It seems that people want what they don't have. Like if you live in a country where everybody is overweight, then it's pretty to be skinny. America, right? If you live in a country where people are starving, then you're in like Flynn if you got some meat on your bones. Like Africa, some countries in Africa. People with white skin, they are sun seekers. People who naturally have melanin in their skin, they try to stay out of the sun. They don't want to get too dark. People with curly hair, they want their hair straight, right? Wow, people who have straight hair, they want their hair curly. Case in point, the last time I was in the beauty shop, I was admiring another customer. She had beautiful straight hair, which she was getting permed to be curly. And unbeknown to me, she was admiring my curly hair, which I was getting straightened. We became fast friends and we laughed about that. And we both decided never to put any more perms or chemicals on our hair, right? All of this constant seeking produces chaos. And in the state of constant seeking, we need something that is stable, right? We need to figure out, is there some place that I can look to help me? And, the Bible talks about that. He talks about in Psalms, I think it was David who wrote this. Psalms 121, verses 1 through 2. He says, I lift my eyes to the hill, for that's where my help comes from. My help comes from the Lord, who made both heaven and earth. So, in the middle of the chaos, we have to lift our eyes to the hills or to our God. This is Welcome to Chaos Part 1. In Part 1, we will examine the elements of chaos. In future episodes, we will look at strategies for seeking stability in a chaotic world. So, welcome to Part 1. What is chaos? If you're on the YouTube channel, there's a signpost, and it has a signpost pointing like six different ways. One way says unsure, the other says puzzled, another way pointing says confused, another way going in the opposite direction says lost. Then there's uncleared and baffled. All this is chaos, okay? Let's look at what dictionary.com says the definition of chaos. And it is basically complete disorder, according to dictionary.com, and confusion. Complete disorder and confusion. That is chaos. You're just so confused. You don't know which way to go. From a psychological point of view, chaos is a behavior that's so unpredictable that it appears to be random. Now, it appears to be random. Why we say it appears? Because a lot of times we have triggers that cause us to do chaotic behavior. And in the next episode, we'll talk about those triggers, okay? So it appears to be unpredictable, but when you look at chaos, you can find a pattern within chaos. My from the world of physics, I thought this definition was very, very interesting. It says owning to great sensitivity of changes in conditions. That means the conditions own you. You see what I mean? You're very sensitive. So you get upset very easily. So these are the definitions of chaos. So we're going to look at triggers next time we're together. If your stability is based on your circumstances, if your happiness is based on what is happening in your life, then you will be tossed back and forth by the waves that are carried by every wind. Every adverse wind is going to affect you. Stay away from the nightly news, right? If you are on the YouTube channel, you see a very colorful drawing that was made by a child. And it has a peaceful scene. There's seagulls and it's an ocean scene. And but there's one big wave that looks like it has some kind of monster in it. And this wave is tossing this figure in the air. And below it, it has Ephesians 4:14. And if you look at Ephesians 4:14, it says, "We are no longer children to be tossed back and forth by the waves, carried by every wind of doctrine, or by human cunning, or by the craftiness of deceitful schemes." Wow. Does that sound like the nightly news? Okay. Does that sound like it? Okay. We're not going to be affected by the world telling us lies, untruths. This verse seems out of context, and it is out of context until you look at the verse before, which is verse 13. It says, until we all attain the unity of the faiths. So we got need to all be together, okay? And the knowledge of the Son of God. We will be mature when we obtain this unity and the knowledge. So that would give us maturity to manhood, and we will know the stature and the fullness of Christ. That's the verse before. Then we will no longer be tossed back and forth. So we have to have a foundation. That's what the verse is saying. When I was younger, I thought, oh, the Bible is archaic and it doesn't have, isn't, it doesn't deal with what I'm dealing with now. But the Bible deals with every situation that you can ever face. Anything that knocks you down. You feel like a Bobo doll sometimes. You guys remember the Bobo dolls? Let me tell you what they were. There was this big plastic thing that had a weight in it. And so you would hit it and it would bounce back. And you would hit it and it bounced back. And the harder you hit it, the harder strength that you use, self strength, the more that quicker that doll would come back. And if you were a child of a certain size, that doll would knock you over. Isn't that like life? We try, we try, we try, we try, but we haven't prayed, we haven't prayed, we haven't prayed. So, are you tired of the world telling us untruths? Hang on there. Hang in there. There is hope for a bright future. So, in order for you to know what chaos is, you have to know what it is. You have to know the elements that make up chaos. And you must expect these things. And if you expect these things, it won't depress you. You know, the only book in the Bible that says you will be blessed if you read it is Revelations. I suggest you get in a good Bible study and study Revelations, and you won't be so stressed out as you listen to the nightly news because you expect human cunning. That's what's part of chaos. That Ephesians 4:14 says it is. Written what? How many years ago? Way before any of us was a twinkle in our great grandparents' eyes. You must expect people to lie, for them to misdirect, for them to leave out important facts, for them to edit tapes, change tapes, right? And with IA, artificial intelligence, oh my God, you haven't seen human cutting on steroids. Stay tuned, it's coming. So AI allows them to use a voice like mine and change my words. So human cunning is going to intensify, guys. So it's very important that we have an anchor, that we know the truth. But one of the elements you have to watch for in chaos is cunning behavior. Another element in chaos, according to Ephesians 4:14, is deceitful schemes. These are stories that they tell you that lead you astray, leave you discouraged. Say that 10 times. They leave you discouraged. They're very They hide things. Deceitful means I'm not showing you the whole picture. I'm showing you maybe part of it. So it's not an outright lie. It's got a thin shell of the truth. Matter of fact, that's what I call an excuse. You have the thin shell of a truth, but you stuff it with a lie. Did you catch that? Thin shell of the truth, and you stuff it with a lie. But I want you to take heart. Don't be discouraged and unsettled because the Bible, many, many years ago, Jesus said this in John 16:33. In this world, guess what? You will have trouble. But I want you to take heart, to have hope in your heart because he has come and he has overcome the world. Isn't that a wonderful? Take heart because he has overcome the world. Well, I want you to tune in next time when we address strategies for maintaining stability in our unsettled world. My hope is that this journey has been fruitful and you're able to take it and apply it to your life. Until next time, tune in again for the Prisoners of Hope podcast. God bless.